Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another FPL Tips live stream. I hope you are all having a good week. And let's get into it. So it is Wednesday now, and for anyone watching on catch up, and we have just over 2 days now until the game week 18 deadline, which is our first blank of the season, which there are many questions about, and a lot of people wondering how you should tackle it and things like that. We will get into discussing that in a minute. Welcome everyone. I hope you all I hope you've all had a good game week, so let me know in the chat what your scores were, how you've done, any transfers you've already made, and anything like that, whether you're pleased, whether you're sad, and we'll get into it. Anyone watching on Twitter, it won't be live on Twitter the whole way through, and I will only be taking questions from the YouTube chat. The link to my YouTube is on the top of the tweet, so go and click that link. Come and ask any questions you've got in the YouTube chat, like and subscribe, and it would be really appreciated. So, So, my team review. So, I got 57 points this game week, which I can't help but be disheartened by because of the transfer that I made last week. So last week I sold Kevin De Bruyne, I know, for Heung-min Son. Instant blow up in my face, 17 points worse off. I expected him to score well in some weeks, but I didn't expect it to blow up in my face quite so quickly and quite so fast. Is basically how I put it. And I hope over the coming weeks Son can repay that move. I don't have a direct way to get KDB back in at the moment, and it's not something that I plan on doing. So at the moment, it is, Son stays, and I will go without KDB for the coming weeks. So as for the rest of my team, Vardy 10, he was always going to be my captain, so that was fine. Mane 6, a lot of my points this week actually coming from my defence. So 6 for Trent, clean sheet, Lundstram 11, getting back to Lundstram's best, and Gaeta 8. Very pleased with Gaeta since I brought him in, 8, 10 and 8. So yeah, really pleased with how he's performing. Just quickly again, you guys watching on Twitter, it is only for the people on YouTube that I'll be answering your questions. So come and join on YouTube. The link is there in the tweet, and please like, comment, subscribe, all of that, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you've got. I have some talking points, but I'll be answering as many questions as possible. So 57 last week got me sadly that rank is not, let me just edit that slightly. So my rank now, I got a 50k red arrow due to selling De Bruyne, and this is where I'm at, 350k red arrow. Slightly disappointing, but we can move on from that. But yeah, next week, so if we go and look at how my team lines up for next week, where am I going? So next week currently lines up like this. So Trent and Mane both on the bench, and that is how my team lines up. That's how my team lines up this game week. I'm not unhappy with my team. I'm slightly worried by the lack of Man United, and we will get into them in a minute when we get into the captaincy picks. So to go without them is a slight worry, but it can be done. It's not such of an issue. But yeah, I'm not disheartened with my team. I've definitely seen people with maybe weaker teams going into this, but yeah, no Man U is a slight worry. I suppose no City, but they do have Leicester. So Charlie Taylor, fingers crossed he plays. I may well be doing Trent to Aurier this week because it would be a transfer next week I make anyway, and I'd rather have Aurier playing than Soyuncu. So I may make it this week because of the likelihood of Charlie Taylor not playing. But that a lot will depend on that, and it depends whether I know exactly what my transfers going forward will be. But yeah, apart from that, the captaincy armband, I suppose we'll move on to captaincy picks now. So for me, the captaincy is currently on Heung-min Son. And as a Chelsea fan, I fancy Spurs against us this weekend. We've looked really poor defensively. We've looked not bad in the middle of the pitch, and we haven't created much going forward. You reminded me, I have my telly right here. So I will put that game. My Christmas tree is going to fall. My little Christmas tree. But let me. Sorry, I just. Sorry, I just had to mute it. So, YouTube. What channel is it on? Good evening, everyone. Wayne, Charlie, Josh. Is it half time? What match have I got on here? That's the City game. I don't want that. What channel is the Leicester game on? Is the Leicester game even on? Let me know in the chat if the Leicester game is on. If not, I'm not flicking through all the channels on my telly. Captaincy picks. So number one captaincy picks has to be Man U for me this weekend. So Watford away, and with the form that the likes of Martial and Rashford are in, if you have them in your team, I would be captaining them. I wouldn't be looking elsewhere. Those two are the captaincy picks for me this week. Yeah, Josh, it is only the City game. All right, well, I'll have that on in the background anyway. So for me, Man U are the number one captaincy options, but there are definitely other options. So Spurs are a good option. So I think Chelsea at home is a good fixture, especially for the likes of Son, Ali, and Kane. I'd probably captain Son first out of all three of them. Jimenez also is a good option. Norwich away, who have been poor defensively. City will score a goal at the weekend, and De Bruyne, Sterling, those players likely as always to be involved. Richarlison, except I do not like him as much if maybe Arteta comes in, see what he can do defensively in the first game. Could be a new manager against a new manager, and you just never know how that's going to pan out. So Richarlison, a good differential in himself, maybe not worth captaining it. And then there are a lot of options. There's no standout. I mean, apart from the United, maybe, but there aren't. So you could look at Jack Grealish if you've got him. Aston Villa at home to Southampton, a good fixture. Bournemouth, if Josh King or if you've got Josh King or Wilson, if either of them are fit, then Burnley at home is a good fixture. I've been talking for about a minute now with no sound. And the stream's about 30 seconds delayed, so you'll all still be looking at me, shouting at me, you're not live. So I'll start from where I was. So United, Watford is the number one captaincy option. However, if we look at Aston Villa, you could captain Grealish. You could captain a Bournemouth attacker against Burnley at home. You could captain a Brighton attacker away at Sheffield United. You could captain a Chelsea. No, you probably wouldn't captain a Chelsea attacker. You could captain a City attacker. You could captain a Wolves attacker. There are so many captaincy options this week, and none of them stand out, that I really just advise going with your gut, because I feel like it's so hard to advise this week who you could captain, who you should be captaining. No one's going to be captain. Well, Vardy's captain percentage is going to go down so much. So yeah, I just think I'm personally going with Son, and I'd go with United over them if I had them. But I just go with your gut, see what you think, have a little bit of a differential this week, because no one's going to be a standout captain by almost everyone. That's not going to happen. If your captain returns, it's not going to be like when you have Vardy and you captain him. You need to captain him for his goal to be a green arrow, and if you don't captain him, it will be a red arrow. But yeah, so anyone you captain will give you a green arrow, even if you do captain Vardy. Even though his ownership's so high, he will still give you a green arrow captaining him, even if you don't captain him this week. So go with a bit of a gut feel. Go slightly out there this week is what I'd advise. Go with your gut. Look at them and think. Don't be crazy. I wouldn't advise captaining a Crystal Palace defender, because I still expect Newcastle might score. And don't go too rogue, but someone like Son, someone like Ali, Jimenez, even Vardy, Martial, Rashford, these sorts of players, any of them will stand you in good stead this week. So yeah, that would be advised. You can all hear me fine now, yeah? Probably lost about half my viewers by talking to nobody. Yeah, did the stream just cut out then? Because I spilt water on my laptop earlier. That's why my stream was late, and I've had some problems with it, and my Safari just sort of restarted. So let me know, did the stream cut out at all then, or was that fine? I'm really sorry about that. I will continue. So yeah, so don't go too rogue with your captaincy, but any one of those sort of main players will be stand you in good stead this week. So my opinion on should you sell Liverpool this week? If their fixtures after were really clean sailing, it would be an absolute no. Now for me, looking, Liverpool have Leicester, then Wolves and Sheffield United at home, but then the next ones after that are difficult again. And now, for me, I definitely don't want to go... Goal, 1-1, Man City. Man City drawing with Oxford United. Well. Who saw that coming? But yeah, so don't go too rogue. So yeah, so Liverpool assets. Sorry, a bit distracted by the football. Selling Liverpool assets. So I think personally, I wouldn't ditch your Manes and your Salahs. I can see why people are ditching their defence, and it is something that I've considered. Because after that Spurs game in 22, they have United at home, Wolves away. I just think that there are limited clean sheets in that period for them. Now, whether I actually sell Trent or those Wolves, Sheffield United at home games are good enough is another thing. And whether it's worth, because then when it comes to game week 24, Liverpool are likely to have a double game week, which would be Liverpool playing Wolves and West Ham in those two games. So you definitely want at least 2 Liverpool assets in them. So if you're selling them, you need a way to get them back in about 5 game weeks' time. And it's whether you think those 2 transfers, you can make up the points that those 2 transfers cost in those 5 game weeks. So, selling Liverpool assets, I think if you've got 3, sell a defender. Yeah, that's fine. If you've got 2, I'd probably hold on to both of them. And that's what I put out in my thread. So read my thread on Monday. It was out about 7 o'clock, so check my tweets. On should we sell Chelsea and should we sell Liverpool assets? 2 slightly different topics, but yeah. That was my thread then, and I advised holding onto probably 1 Chelsea asset and holding onto your Liverpool assets. So Chelsea assets is next. So basically my discussion was we're not good enough defensively as a team. So if you have a Chelsea defender, it's time for them to go. If you're holding Tomori, it's time for him to go. Reece James isn't starting every game, even though I absolutely think he should be. I probably wouldn't keep him either. Not many people will own him anyway. So yeah, I think in terms of midfield, if you've got Pulisic, I see rotation coming with him, and I think he'll not play both of the next 2 games. So Chelsea, we then have Southampton at home, and I think he may well not start that Southampton game, Pulisic. So he may even not play against Spurs because he did look knackered. But I think that Southampton game will be where Pulisic gets his rest. Mount, gosh. So yeah. Mount, I would be selling. Pulisic, I'd probably be selling. Tammy's probably the only one that I'd be holding on to. So, Lover, sell Tammy or Trent to fund Son. So, who would you be bringing in for them? Because that would make a big difference. How much downgrade would you need? I'll go to my sub 7 million mids, and then we'll get to some of the questions that have been put in the chat. So one of the big sort of differentials that people are looking at the moment are these slightly cheaper midfielders that can be used to free up money for the likes of Son to have a midfield that includes Son, that includes Mane, that includes De Bruyne. And whilst holding the likes of Vardy. So if we look at sub 7 million options, Storm Legacy, do I think Lamps will play 3 in midfield with Mount dropping out? Yes. City have just scored again. I think it was Sterling. I do think Mount will play the midfield 3, and it's who he uses on the wings. And I could see Mount dropping out like we saw against City. So sub 7 million. I do like the look of, and I know it's rogue, of Ryan Fraser because their fixtures are quite so good. I do like Fraser as a real differential because their fixtures are so good. Zaha definitely is. I know people got frustrated with him because he blanked twice in a row against Watford and Bournemouth. But when he scores, because Palace scores so few goals, he gets in the bonus. And their next games are Newcastle, West Ham, Southampton, Norwich. So I definitely think Zaha is still a good option. We have to scroll slightly further down to get to other players I like. So Grealish is an absolute, probably my favourite at this price. On penalties, I know he's got 4 yellows, but only 2 games left for him to not get booked. So I definitely would consider Grealish. Southampton at home, Norwich at home, Watford away. Sarr is a difficult one because he played really well, but he just can't finish. So I probably would steer clear of him. And Daniel James is probably the last one that I look at without going really cheap. And has good fixtures, is nailed on in that United side. So yeah, at 6.2 is a great way into that United side. You'd like to get James in if he gets some starts. Reece James, yeah, he's not a bad pick, Reece James. Yeah, he's not a bad pick at all. Is Grealish on penalties only when Wesley is absent? Is that the case? I don't know. Was he not on the pitch at the weekend? I didn't know that, so thanks, Dav, for letting me know that. But I still think Grealish is a good option. The number 1 goal threat in that Villa side. So yeah, those are probably the ones I'd look at. And for me, the biggest 2 would be Grealish and Dan James would be the 2 that I'm looking at in that set. So we will get on now to a few questions that you guys in the chat have been asking. So I'll go back and answer those. Let me know if you've got any more. Keep firing them away. So thoughts on either Grealish or Traore this weekend, and best captain pick for 18. So as I answered, best captain pick are the United assets, followed by a differential of your choice, basically. Grealish or Traore, I'd pick Grealish if you're going to be starting them every week. Thoughts on Moura versus Son. Moura is a great price, slightly cheaper option, but for me, Son has to be the best pick out of the 2 of them. Thoughts on this team after heading into Game Week 19, so if you'd seen Pope. I'd look to get rid of Pope straight away, but apart from that, it does look nice. But I wouldn't be wanting to hold Pope for too much longer. Sell Abraham or Trent to fund Son, so I need to know who you'd be buying. 31 points on Saturday. Traore captain. I don't think so. He's not got enough captain returns. Richarlison a captaincy option. Well, I think he is. Yeah, it seems to be the number 1 goal threat for that Everton side, and I do expect him to probably get something this weekend. So yeah, if you have Richarlison and you want to take a bold punt, then yeah, go for him. Do you rush to get KD back into your team after shitting him last week? It depends who you're selling. Don't instantly undo the transfer. Don't instantly sell Son. I don't think that's probably a good move, but depends who you'd be bringing him back in for. I select captain based on goals. Southampton 36, Norwich, Ings. Yeah, Rashford is a good option. Try him for Pulisic for free this week. That's an interesting one because presumably with that you're going to have to play Traore every week. And I wouldn't want to be playing Traore every week. You'd like to get James in. I think he's a great option. Maguire for Trent or King if fit for Tammy. I'd go with probably Maguire for Trent, but I'd rather go Aurier for Trent. I'd go Aurier for Trent is the way I'd go there. Harry Wilson, if you're looking at Bournemouth, yeah, but I don't think he's quite fit, so keep an eye on that. Son likes humiliating Chelsea defenders. Well, I remember that goal he scored the last time we played them. We ran down, humiliated Jorginho and David Luiz and half our team in one run. So, is Gaeta worth a -4 for Pope? Maybe if you're going to keep Gaeta till game week 30, when his fixtures are good until, I think Gaeta was worth about a -8 over that time, if not more. but it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to repay you this game week. But I think over the long course, taking a hit to get Gaeta in for Pope is a very good move. Whether it's this week because they're playing Bournemouth, and you wait until Burnley play Everton, that Everton Man U, maybe next week you do the transfer if you can do it for free, then yeah. Ancelotti will be in the stands. Yeah, I saw that. But I still like Everton a lot. They look much better under Duncan Ferguson. So yeah, he's still a good option. Those Everton players, whoever they're managed by. Right, guys. So we've been live for half an hour now. I know I was a bit late, but please get your sort of final questions in, and I will quickly answer them before we end the stream. Thoughts from Salah and Mane double up after blank. So I did see that question, but I didn't then see it when I was reading through again. I personally wouldn't be doing that. I'd wait till the game week 24 double if you're looking to do that double up. So no, not for me after the blank. Their fixtures aren't good enough. I know there should be fixture proof and all that, but I think there are better options for the second spot to maybe less risk for you. So no. Ooh. Anyway, guys, if you don't have any more questions, as always, please like, comment, subscribe. It really helps. The support has been great. I was privileged to meet some of you at the FPL meetup that I went to last Friday, hosted by the Who Got the Assist guys, which was amazing last Friday. I had so much fun there. Really did enjoy it, meeting some great people. FPL Sponge, Plonker, Flapjack, Sam and Lee from FPL Family, the Who Got the Assist guys, the Planet FPL guys, Aaron, I can't even remember now, FPL Trophy, all of them. Go give them follows. Anyone else, thanks to all of them for making it such a good evening. Yeah, but thank you all for your support on YouTube. It really is appreciated, definitely. So please share around that I'm on Twitter, on YouTube. Tell your friends. Yeah, the more people, which like I've had tonight, it's been great. Thanks a lot for coming in. Virgil van Dijk to Rico and Pulisic to Ali. You've got Trent. Yeah, good moves. I like that, Josh. Do you think Rashford is worth it? What about James? I think Rashford is worth it, and I think he's a great captaincy option this week. But yeah, guys, thank you a lot for coming. Thanks a lot for coming. I'm always on Twitter. I will have a thread going out in about 5 minutes on Twitter, so go check that out and retweet and like that and everything. And I will see you maybe not for a while as I'm going on holiday, but there will be content on Twitter a lot of the time. So yeah, go and check that out. But good luck with game week 18, almost halfway through the season. And yeah, any further questions you guys have or your friends have, come and drop me a message on Twitter, and I will be happy to answer them for you. United only good on the counter attack, so if it's the best captaincy option, because they are better than just on the counter attack. They have looked good recently, and they're playing a Watford side, so I do expect them to score. And their goals only tend to come through about two of their assets, so 2 or 3 of their assets. So I do think they're the best captaincy option. Especially because there aren't any other real standout options. If I had Rashford, I'd captain him, but I don't, and I'm not getting him in. But yeah, guys, thank you all for coming by, and I will see you next time. Cheers, guys.